Hello and welcome to another edition of News Showcase. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Authorities in Bengaluru city are considering alternate options as its population is threatened by an unprecedented water crisis. Reports say options before the government include recycling of water for non-drinking purposes to ease the shortage. According to reports, the cost of water delivered by tanker trucks had doubled in recent days to rupees 2,000. In Bengaluru, one of India's busiest cities and home to software companies, drinking water is supplied by nearly 300 state-operated trucks. The government has also signed up with private suppliers to meet the demand. It has also set up control rooms and a task group led by lawmakers to deal with the crisis, amid fears that the worst is yet to come when the summer intensifies in the coming months. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has told a rally in Kashmir that the region was seeing rapid development after his government removed the former state's semi-autonomous status. It was his first visit to the Kashmir Valley since revoking Article 370, which granted the special status. Amid tight security, Modi addressed a gathering at Bakshi Stadium in Srinagar and launched development projects said to be worth several thousand crore rupees. The Prime Minister also attacked his political opponents and said the Congress and its allies, the People's Democratic Party and the National Conference, had been deceiving the people for political advantage. Modi's visit comes as India awaits the announcement of election dates to choose its next Prime Minister. The Indian embassy in Moscow has confirmed the death of one of its nationals who was duped into signing up with the Russian army to fight against Ukraine. Reports quoting the embassy confirmed the death of Mohammed Asfan, a resident of Hyderabad, but did not reveal the cause of death or what he was doing in Russia. Reports said at least 100 men from various Indian states had signed up for support jobs in the Russian army, but some were misled and deployed to the front lines in combat roles. The Indian government said it has been in touch with the Russian authorities about the fate of its nationals. A media report said the recruiter is based in Dubai and runs the YouTube channel Baba Vlogs with 250,000 subscribers. Reports indicate Biju Janata Dal, the governing party in the eastern state of Odisha, could have an electoral tie-up with the National Democratic Alliance, which is led by the BJP. The speculation comes after long meetings at the home of Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik on Wednesday. Reports quoting an official statement from the party said the talks were focused on strategies for elections due in weeks from now. The setting for a possible alliance is the recent public compliments exchange between Patnaik and Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They praised each other's accomplishments and Patnaik's BJD indicating its support for the federal government's legislative programs. BJD, a former member of the National Democratic Alliance, quit the bloc 15 years ago. India's defense minister has said the country is prepared for war, with the capability to crush threats from air, land and sea. Rajnath Singh's comments at a defense summit in Delhi, hosted by a media company, comes against a backdrop of perceived threats from China. Singh stressed that India has grown as a military, strategic and economic power, an apparent warning to adversaries against misadventures. Military tension between the two sides has existed for years, sometimes resulting in clashes at border locations along the Ladakh region. There have been many rounds of high-level negotiations between the two armed forces and diplomatic services, which have resulted in the withdrawal of troops from some points, but the tension remains. The Indian Navy rescued the crew of a cargo ship that was hit by a missile off the coast of Yemen. According to reports, MV True Confidence, flying a Barbados flag, was struck by a rocket fired by rebels who control most parts of Yemen. 3 people were killed in the strike before 21 other crew members were rescued by the Indian ship Kolkata. The incident was reported about 100 kilometers off Yemen's coast, where merchant vessels have come under attack from the rebels since November. The rebels have declared support for the Palestinian group Hamas and said they targeted ships linked to Israel or serving that country. A Western multinational force led by the US has been deployed in the region to protect commercial shipping. According to Thai customs officials, 6 Indian nationals were detained at Bangkok's international airport for allegedly trying to smuggle a red panda and numerous other animals out of the nation. According to officials, 87 animals were seized at Suvarnabhumi airport, including monitor lizards, parrots and snakes. They were allegedly found when the suspects attempted to board a flight to Mumbai and checked their luggage. The maximum sentence for the suspects is 10 years in prison. The endangered red panda in a basket and the closed parrot in a plastic container were depicted in images published by the Thai Customs Authority. Reports said coils of snakes were found bundled into cotton sacks. Thailand is a main transit hub for smugglers of animals and they are usually traded in China and Vietnam. China has announced a number of initiatives meant to strengthen its faltering economy, and it has set an ambitious growth target of about 5% for this year. The declaration was made by Premier Li Qiang at the start of the annual National People's Congress, and the move came as China tries to revive its once robust economy. Li admitted that many of the difficulties that have plagued China's economic performance are yet to be resolved. The International Monetary Fund estimates that the housing market represents 20% of the economy, making it one of the most significant of the difficulties. Last week, China's largest private developer, Country Garden, was served with a winding-up petition in Hong Kong. Earlier, a local court ordered debt-ridden rival Evergrande to liquidate. A former Google software engineer is accused of stealing trade secrets related to artificial intelligence while working covertly for two Chinese companies. U.S. authorities said Leon Ding, whose real name is Linwei Ding, was taken into custody after being charged with 4 felonies in the state of California. He is charged with stealing data related to Google's supercomputing data centers architecture, which is utilized to house and train massive AI models. More than 500 private files are said to have been taken by the Chinese national. On each conviction, he could be sentenced to up to 10 years in jail and fines of up to over $200,000. Local media said that a lawyer representing Ding could not be reached for comment on the matter. Retired Russian chess legend and grandmaster Garry Kasparov has been placed on the list of terrorists and extremists by Russia's financial watchdog. Reports say the 60-year-old, who is also a political activist, has long opposed President Vladimir Putin and voiced his opposition to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The watchdog Rosfin Monitoring is in charge of blocking terror funding and money laundering, and people on its list may have their bank accounts frozen. One of the greatest chess players in the world, Kasparov has spent more than 10 years living and working in the United States, where he has concentrated on political matters. Last February, Kasparov urged the West to continue supporting Ukraine against the Russian invasion. After winning both of their Super Tuesday contests, Donald Trump has issued a challenge to Joe Biden to televise debates as the rivals appear set for a rematch for the White House. The Republican declared on the internet he was ready to participate in a TV forum with the Democratic president anytime and anywhere. Trump issued his challenge hours after his only Republican rival, Nikki Haley, pulled out of the White House race. Biden's campaign said Trump was described as thirsty for attention and struggling to expand his appeal. Reports said no debates have been agreed so far ahead of the polls in November. 77-year-old Trump has maintained that Biden, who is 81, is too old and forgetful to engage him in a meaningful argument, while Biden has described Trump as being senile. According to the European Union's climate agency, last month was the warmest February on record in modern times. Since June 20, 2023, new seasonal high temperatures have been recorded every month. While Antarctic sea ice has once again fallen to extremely low levels, the global sea surface is at its hottest point ever. Although El Niño, a weather phenomenon in the Pacific, continues to raise temperatures, human-caused climate change is the primary cause of the warmth. The UN climate body claims that carbon dioxide concentrations have reached their highest point in at least 2 million years and have risen to almost record highs once more in the last year. With these temperatures, Western Australia, Southeast Asia, Southern Africa, and South America experienced exceptionally intense heat waves. The World Health Organization has announced that a serious outbreak of what is known as parrot fever has affected a number of individuals residing in European nations. According to reports in the Western media, 5 deaths have been reported as a result of the outbreak, which was first discovered in 2023 and continued until the beginning of this year. Reports say a variety of domestic and wild birds as well as poultry can carry the virus that causes parrot fever. Austria, Denmark, and Germany have reported a significant number of cases, but fatalities are rare and antibiotics are said to be effective against the fever. The World Health Organization said it was monitoring the situation. Thank you for watching. I am Priya, Tamil Nadu's first artificial intelligence news presenter. Do tune in, same time tomorrow, for a roundup of the latest news and updates in India and around the world.